College Success Arizona presents Student Stories. The feature of the following story and interview is Nguyen.
So I was born and raised in Vietnam. I came to the States when I was 17, and right now I am 22 years old.
So you were born and raised until the age of 17 and then moved to the U.S.?
Yes.
And what brought you to the U.S. at the age of 17?
My grandfather, he worked for the U.S. Army back in the Vietnam War. And then when he passed away, my grandma had the chance to come to the U.S. on her own. And then after living in the U.S. for 15 years, she became our sponsor. She did some immigration stuff, and then here I am today.
You came over at 17. Did you speak any English when you got here?
I speak a little bit of English because English was, let's say, foreign language, part of the 13 subject I had to study in school in Vietnam. So in school in Vietnam, from first grade to 12th grade, every year you have to study 13 subjects, 13 classes. So English is one of the classes I had to take, but I didn't take English until I go to high school. So I started learning English when I was 15, and then I came to the U.S. when I was 17.
Directly to Phoenix? Where do you live now?
I came to Seattle at first, and then I lived there for 6 months, and then I moved to Phoenix. So I've been living in Phoenix for 5 years.
Did you come over here on your own, or did you have some family, your mother, your father with you?
Yes, I came here with my parents.
And talk about that transition, because you're pretty much an adult, raised your entire life until that age of 17 in Vietnam, and you come to a great, big, brand new country. What was that like?
It was a huge transition, you know. It was a huge shock for me as well because of the two cultures, you know. The first thing I had to overcome was the language barrier, as you may know. I was struggling with speaking English because back in Vietnam when I was studying English, I was just, I'm pretty good at grammar, writing and stuff, but not speaking because I didn't have a chance to talk to a native speaking people. So when I first came over here, all of my pronunciation was pretty much wrong. So I had to catch up with the way my friends talk to me. Every time I hear something strange, I ask him, and he always explained to me. So that helped me a lot. And then the second thing I have to overcome is, you know, the way to adapt to studying over here because everything is different. School here is different in Vietnam. In Vietnam, the teacher comes to us, but here we have to come to the teacher, for example.
And where did you graduate high school in Phoenix?
I graduated from Westview High School in Avondale.
And what are you
even though
doing
I live
now?
in Phoenix, but I'm going to be a senior at Arizona State University majoring in biochemistry, and I'm also a pre-medical student.
What do you hope to do as a career?
So I'm hoping to get an MD degree and then pursue a residency in internal medicine so I can become a family doctor.
So you're pursuing your bachelor's degree in what? In biochemistry, you said?
Yes, biochemistry.
How long is medical school?
Medical school is going to be 4 more years.
And then how long is your residency?
It's going to be 3 more years.
So you have, including your final year at ASU to wrap up your undergrad, then 4 years of med school, then you said a 2 or 3 year residency. So you have about 8 years of school left.
Yes.
What have been the biggest challenges of college?
As for me, the biggest challenges in college was that you can't depend on the teacher, the professors. Everything you have to do is on your own. It's not like high school, you know, you don't have to read and then the teacher just can explain everything to you in class and then you can understand it and go home, do homework. But in college, the teacher is not going to do that. The professor, they go over the main ideas. I have to read a lot at home and do extra problems at home by myself or with some of my friends. We create a study group. And yeah, that's pretty much what I have to. And then in high school, I never had to stay up until 2 a.m., but in college, 2, 3 a.m.s are normal.
And why do you want to be a doctor?
So the reason I wanted to become a doctor because first is to serve of healthcare. It is my passion to use my knowledge and skill to serve everyone, especially people with low income and disadvantage because I have been through such obstacles. So I want to serve for everyone with low-income, poor people, not only in America but also in my home country. The second reason I want to become a doctor is because I want to be successful in my career in America, and I will use my knowledge and accomplishment to become the bridge, to become the connection between Vietnam and America, so that I can improve the healthcare system of Vietnam and to help poor people over there to have access to better care and services like in America.
So are you working in some type of medical capacity now as part of your studies?
I am not working in medical clinic. However, I am shadowing 2 doctors every 2 days a week, and I'm also volunteering in the emergency department at Banner Healthcare Hospital. Also, addition to that, I am also working at the undergraduate research assistant for Dr. Fromlat at Arizona State University.
As we sit here and talk, and I think about you growing up in Vietnam after the war, you were born in the early 1990s. What was it like growing up? Because obviously Vietnam and the United States had a somewhat of a complicated relationship that seems to have repaired itself for the most part over the last generation or two. But can you talk about growing up in Vietnam and what the sentiment was or is towards America?
I was born in the South Vietnam, Saigon, so I was born in the part of Vietnam that supported America back in the war, So the idea of people viewing Americans is normal. I did not have a lot of disadvantage back in Vietnam. Thanks to my parents, they supported me a lot. They worked really, really hard for me. Even now, when we came to U.S., they worked really, really hard for me, and I'm very thankful for them. In Vietnam, when I was growing up, obviously we have to be influenced by the government policy, the government institution, so everything has to be followed by the government. But by the time I was born, around 1994, everything had changed since the 1990s. Vietnam had opened the doors for international companies to come over to establish companies and business in Vietnam. So I was born in the improving area of Vietnam. But of course, because Vietnam is a third country, so my experience growing up in Vietnam was obviously more difficult than those in the U.S. However, I was very fortunate to be able to come to U.S. so that I can reach very close to many opportunities, and also thanks to the support of College Success Arizona. And because of that, I could achieve a lot of my dreams. I could achieve a lot of accomplishments, which I would not have been able to do so if I stay in Vietnam.
And the $6,000 per year scholarship, has that helped you to avoid or limit student debt?
Yes, thanks to College Success Arizona, and also thanks to College Success Arizona, it was a life-changing decision for me. So the story was back when I was in senior year, I applied for college, and my major was computer system engineering. Even though I love being a doctor, but being an immigrant coming over here with facing all the economic and language barrier, I was thinking that I just want to study, graduate from college, and work, and then support my family, and then pay off the loan. But after receiving the scholarship from College of Arizona, I was persuaded by my father that you should pursue your dream. It is your dream, and you have to do it. So your bachelor degree is now taken care of. You don't have to worry about it anymore. He said that he will work. My mom and dad will support me on the way, so I don't have to worry about it. And then with the support from College Success Arizona, I know I can do it.
And Barbara Scrivener is your success advisor or mentor. Can you talk about your relationship with her and how she has kind of maybe helped guide you through the college experience?
Yes, first of all, I want to say thank you so much, Barbara. Even though she has only been my mentor for the last year, but she has been extremely helpful throughout the way. I was able to be helped by her in every aspect of my college, of my junior years, of my decision, I was actually call her, text her, and ask about medical school application and ask about master degree application. What should I do with classes? How many credits should I do? Should I take? She has been very, very helpful in all of that aspects, and then she has been always available whenever I need her.
Can you provide some advice or guidance to middle and high school students who may be considering their own college careers?
I would tell them that getting in college is not easy, but it's also not difficult. It is in the middle. So I would say to them that whatever you do with your life nowadays, please consider going to college. It only takes at least 2 years or 4 more years of your life. And then imagine you're going to be living for at least 70 years. And then imagine you just sacrifice only 4 years of your life, and it's going to change your life completely. It's going to change your life spiritually. It's going to change everything in your life. So just do not settle with high school. I was in Westview, and I had the chance to talk to a lot of people, a lot of friends. I was actually encouraging them to apply for college, and some of them did. 4 of my best friends in high school, they had followed the step I did, the step that I went. They applied to college, and then 2 of them had told me, you know what, I won't be able to get into ASU. I won't be able to survive community college. I was like, dude, just apply to ASU. It doesn't cost you anything, because we all got fee waiver when we applied to ASU as economically student. So they applied to ASU, and they got into one of the best programs in the U.S., which is a W.B. Carey Business School. And now they are going to be senior in the business school at ASU. So I would say to all the middle school and high school students, shoot high, never underestimate yourself. There's a saying from one of my mentors was, if you shoot 10, you get 7. If you shoot for 7, you only get 3. So you always have to shoot for 10.
Thank you, Duyanh, for the interview and for working so hard to make a difference in our community.